This is a project for the master or PhD level. Now there are a lot of things here, and each of these is called an applet. An applet is a small application, and you can synthesize these applets in any way you like. Now this is for a general master's program or PhD program. You can see, for instance, there's a candidate for the benefit of the new members, candidate, fact-finding, thesis title, thesis statement. So each of these applet will do exactly that function. But for today, we want to look at qualitative analysis at the bottom here. Can you see my mouse over here?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. Somebody keep responding with me. Okay, now here, for now, I will go into reference because many of the other students may find it too boring if I keep going back to the same things. So let's look at reference. Now, what does the reference do? For a start, we have search strings. Okay, we have search strings. We're going to look for articles. How do we look for articles? So when we want to look for articles, you go to the search string, click on search string, and it comes out with something like this. Initially, it will be empty, but these are searches that I have done. So we click on the orange button, and if you want to make a new search, you would click on the blue document icon here. But for now, to keep to time, I will click on the edit button. You'll still get the benefit. So here you can insert topic, issue, and scope. The actual manner by which we do it is very simple, but for today, we just keep it because I just want to give you an awareness so you know what the software is capable of. And then you can decide whether you will want to come back to it. So you can change these text. For example, you click on it and you can put the text you want. Here, for instance, I want to look for COVID-19 pandemic, and I want to look at it for the issue is in terms of employment, family income, and the scope, those who are affected is foreign workers. So when I put like this, and I can also set whether I want to look for it in the text of the document or whether I want to look for it in the URL or whether I want to look for it in the title. You can change these things. Now, when I close and I go back to this button, and here is the Google Scholar icon. Now, when I click on this icon, you can see straight away it takes me to Google Scholar, and it is looking for the Boolean string that I put in. Now, this string is automatically concatenated by the software. Now, okay, so you can see that it comes out with 2,500. That is also because it's already quite specific. If I just search for COVID-19, wait, this is not Google Scholar. If you search for COVID-19, let's see what we get. Okay, so I put here COVID-19 pandemic. I've been working on it. So if you search, you look, you get 1,300,000. So this is not useful at all because you can't go and browse through one by one, page by page. No use at all. So with the software, you go and put the Boolean you want. The string is concatenated by the software. Now, then after the first time round, you can copy it to another session. And in this case, number 2, I go and further fine tune it. I want to look at family income. The text must have family income. I want specifically in Malaysia, and I want to exclude Bangladesh, for instance. You can exclude any number of things you want. And I want it to be from ResearchGate. Why ResearchGate? Because I want free articles. ResearchGate gives free articles. So by constructing this, you can see that the software creates the string, and when I close, and I now search this one, search in Google. You can search in academic also, Microsoft Academic. So you see, it brings it down to 18 records. 18 records. I'm still not happy. Still too many. I don't have time. I'm busy. I'm doing a lot of things. So I go back and copy the string, and I copy with this function, duplicate, and then I edit it again. I keep on doing that. I keep on fine tuning. I want to exclude India as well, and I want only PDFs. Okay, so file type is PDF. So now when I close this, and I will be in number 4, number 4. So I look in Google Scholar. Look at that. It's limited to 3, and these are very highly specific to what you're searching. You see? So all of this you can learn in 10 minutes and start searching. So this is one way you can search, and when you like this article, you can now view this article. Just click on it, it goes to view, and you can start looking at the article. And if you like it, you download it and save it into your D drive or some drive that you want. Okay, so that is how you use search strings. However, okay, let's say you want to look at something more general. Then we have search sources. Now, search sources is maintained by me. Okay, so I'm maintaining this, and what am I doing? I already created a lot of interesting sites which can be useful for the student. For example, the student wants to look for scholarly literature. So you click scholarly literature, and within scholarly literature, I, as my official, lecturing and paper writing capacity, I find that these are useful for students. So let's say, for instance, I give these options, and students can then go and look for articles here. So say, for instance, you want to look for open access thesis. So you click open access thesis, and you got this here. Now I simply search, and it takes me there. So what is this happening here? It's already preset for your convenience. Okay, you don't like this. This is open access thesis and dissertations. So student doesn't know that, oh, articles are available. These are all open access. So we make it easy for you. Okay, if you find that you regularly want to use this, again you want to come back, you click add. When you click add, the site address is added to the bottom here. It's added to the bottom of this portion here. So you can search for other things. Say, for example, you want to look at database. Okay, so so it came with this site, and now you just simply search. Hey, how convenient, isn't it? It's already preset, and we can contribution from people like you. We can add more sites. If you find something specifically interesting, we can add. Of course, some of them, they got the login and all this. This one you have to follow. We can't do anything about that. But you can start searching for documents. So we have two main ways. One is search string, and then you have the search sources. Now, not only that, there are many, nowadays, many journals, they require you to show what databases did you search, how many articles did you search, how did you eliminate some of them. So all of this we can maintain through this page, where you say that I started with 120 articles from Scopus, then I added another 50 articles, I got 120, then I eliminated old articles, 50 of them, and so on and so on. And when you close this, you get a record of how you arrive at your final list of 30 articles. Now, can you imagine how much of work I have explained to you in just 10 minutes? Amazing amount of work that can be done very quickly, very systematically, and you can always come back to this. You don't have to save it somewhere, nothing, yeah? Top level, top ranking journals now, they require you to show this, okay? So that's how we have it. And once you have downloaded an article through this search, you go to manage sources. We go to manage sources, and in the manage sources, in the edit function, you see we can add many things. We can add a book, a journal, journal article, report, website, sound recording, whatever. We can add this, and again, I won't go into this detail. It takes time to go through this, but we can see, for instance, let's say a book section here. So we look at the edit function, and this is the information that we put in, and it is now used in the reference and citation. So whatever we put here, you can add the authors, you can have multiple authors, the year, the title, the book author. This is follows the method for the referencing of a book. If you have chosen a journal article, then it will follow the method for journal article, and you can upload your document here. Now, since the document is already uploaded, so here it is giving me to either remove or download. Download if you want to see the document. And when you are in any particular document, the icon, the I here means you can actually see the document. Okay, you download and you can see the document. And of course, the standard other functions are edit, delete, and cancel. So here, for instance, I have a sample of materials which I have uploaded just to show students, and this is how the reference looks like. It's all built in. Okay, you have the reference, and the citations will come according to the style. So this is a full parenthesis, like you want to add this in the middle of the sentence, or this is date parenthesis where you want to say like Bella Vandrum said something. So then this will come in the sentence. So there's two methods of references. Okay, we got to go fast. Okay, from the we need to put our material in the references, and then we have the literature review. Again, just 2 minutes. The literature review in our software handles all of this in a very graphic environment. You can attach any document. You can handle the excerpts, and the gap analysis is all done together. But if I continue this in more detail, we will probably run out of time for the qualitative analysis. Now, next, once we have the references, we can now go to the qualitative analysis. Now, how do we insert the qualitative analysis here? In the research questions, AsterWrite allows you to include many questions. For example, here I have 6 research questions. Again, the details of how you do the research questions, we won't go through it right now. Perhaps we can just look at one simple example here. So when I add the research question, I can edit, and this is how you construct the research question. The topic, modifier, issue, and scope are all coming from the mind map. The mind map where you conducted the literature review. If you didn't do some aspect of literature review, then you cannot raise a research question on that. So AsterWrite makes sure that whatever research question you're doing, you have already discussed it in the literature review. So here is how you construct the research question. So we close this, and then you can also look at the rating of the research question. Are you looking at all the gap related question? If no gap, it tells you this no gap. So here we see that the research question rating is moderate. To be a good research question, it will show strong research question. So it's something like your password. It says weak password, moderate password, strong password. So here we have weak research question, moderate research question, and strong research question. Now, once you have done that, you can also look at the test selection. So here I have selected the qualitative analysis. There's a drop down here, and I've selected the qualitative analysis. And once I've done that, it automatically tells me what is the test design, what is the test method. Automatically, yeah, it tells me that this is how the meaning behind a qualitative meta-analysis. And it also allows me to create the research hypothesis. So once again, everything is guided. Topic, modifier, issue, and scope, you cannot change. It is already picked up from your literature review. But you can change the sentence to construct a reasonable research hypothesis. And when you do that, AsterWrite automatically fills in your HO and HA. Isn't that amazing? A lot of students don't know how to do HO, HA. But here it is automatically done for you because we know what type of research question you are doing. And then you can go in and edit your aims. Okay, so here we have the aims. So what you intend to do. So in this case, to sort qualitative evidence whether commitment does influence the poor preservation in Ampang Medical. Don't worry about the content. It's not related to your area of study, but just be dazzled like how it does this. And so now here we have constructed the research aims. You can also put in your research objectives, and not only that, it also gives you a range of sampling plans. So for instance, here you can see what you want: probability sampling, non-probability, purposive sampling, qualitative analysis. So let's say I choose qualitative analysis and I want to do confirm, disconfirm. So then you can see the text for that. But for now, let's say I want theory concept. So here is the method of sampling plan. Now, once we have that, let's go dive quickly, running late. Now, I want to come into qualitative analysis. So that means the qualitative analysis is traced to the, who can tell me? Research question. The research question is traceable to your literature review. Literature review is traceable to your documents, your excerpts. Everything is cascading down like a waterfall. Okay, you can't just jump in and do something. So everything is systematically organized, and it brings you to the qualitative analysis. Now, for the qualitative analysis, let me just go through a very quick PowerPoint show here so that you understand what we are doing. So here we have the intent of today. There are many types of qualitative analysis which can be done. So these are standard information. You determine the topic, identify participants, prepare the moderator, where you want to do these things, and so on. So all these, there are a lot of guides on how you can do this and how you go through the process of collecting the data. Now, these are sample interview questions and focus group results. What happens if you do a structured interview, how you get the response from the same person or responses from different person for a particular question. All of this can be managed, and you can also import it from Excel versions. And here is some example like what is it that you need to do, whether it's phenomenology, ethnography, grounded theory, many ways or many types of studies which can be done, as long as they are all qualitative analysis, although they may have different objectives, different purpose, and different approaches. This is the difference. But now, what is most important is that you must understand we are looking at excerpts from respondents' responses. So from the responses, we take the excerpts and group them into different types of quotes. So I have tried to show that with different diagrams. So here you have a diamond, parallelogram, circles. So different respondents talk about different things, but from here we code them. We take excerpts and code them. So you can see that different items are collected according to the code, and the codes are then grouped into different concepts. Different codes make different concepts, and from the concepts we have category or theory. And the beauty is, this is where AsterWrite excels in identifying the excerpts, coding, identifying the concepts and the category. This is the main purpose that why we are looking at the software. So you can answer one research question like this. So you can see that these are the codes and the excerpts are in the brackets. So the concepts are here and the categories are here. For those doing qualitative analysis, you must have some vague ideas about this. And if you have more than one research question, no problem. AsterWrite can still handle them very beautifully. Okay, so this is what we were we want to do, but we are going to see that in the program. So here is the program. So we go into qualitative analysis. So here we have the excerpts collection. Now in the excerpts collection, you can see here, for instance, I've done some data collection. The data collection is uploaded into the reference. Just now I showed you the reference. So I upload it into the reference and then I attach the reference to the excerpts collection in qualitative analysis. Now, once I do that, you can see that there is a button here which says you can add new excerpts, and this blue up arrow here, you can actually import excerpts from Excel. Beautiful, very easy. So now when you have the document, you can simply insert here. You can insert a new excerpt. So here I show you a sample excerpt. For instance, here when you click on the excerpt, automatically it pulls up the document. Can you see? So beautiful. It pulls up this document according to different respondents. What did they answer in the questionnaire? So here they have given the answer, and so from here I can say that this, I can look at one of these and I can say that I take an excerpt of this, copy it into the excerpt, and I put my remarks, and it's from document 1, respondent A1, and this respondent is talking about education. So this education is a code. Now, like this, I can handle many excerpts from different respondents. So here are many excerpts. Either you can take from different types of analysis. For example, you may have done a questionnaire, you may have done online survey, or you might have just taken it from a historical records. Doesn't matter. You can attach all of them through the various methods here. These are all different documents, as you can see. Now, where do you create the codes? So there we have something called code setup. So here I can add new codes by clicking on the orange button. For now, I have a code: family, environment, faith, gender, depending on my study. You can create a new code here at the bottom. Now, once you have done these codes will appear in the excerpts collection. If a code is not there, let's say, for example, now I show the second example, and in this excerpt, this is a different document, and from this document, I extracted some excerpts. You see, this is a real one I did. This is a genuine one I did for COVID-19 with an Arab student. And you can see, for instance, suppose I want to take this point and say that, this one is talking about relationship. So I would copy this to the excerpt above here. Can you guys follow me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alex?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you copy it to here, and then you put the remarks and put which document. This is just an identifier. Okay. And then you can click whether it is a relationship, or it's talking about language, it's talking about social distancing, whatever. So let's say I talk about relationship and social distancing. Now, whatever codes here will come from just now the code setup. So easy. You just set up the code there, and here it comes in. So now let's say I save it. So I save it here and done. So there are two codes. This document, I have 3 excerpts, that each of them have 2 codes. Okay. This excerpt has 2 codes. This excerpt has 2 codes. The center one is the excerpt. The number of codes is given here. And the next thing, the beauty is one click. And I can tell you from document 1, these are all my excerpts. And for instance, excerpt number 5, is attached to 5 codes. This one is attached to 1 code. Any of this you feel like, this is not correct. Okay, I want to relook at this. Simply click on these guys. Look at that. Which other software will give you this functionality? You tell me. You need to spend half a day. So if you feel that, I want to revise, my supervisor doesn't agree that this is related to faith. Okay, uncheck. Okay, uncheck, or you check a new one, dynamic. Okay, then you simply save it. So when I save this, it will revise it to, which one was that? Number 5. Say 3 codes. Brilliant. Now, so you can look at the excerpt details. What a rush, huh? Okay, so these are all the excerpts from the different documents. Why you have different documents? Because you can have different documents for different functions. Maybe you did 3 studies, 3 questionnaires, one with students, one with teachers, and one with parents. So you can bring them here and you can do this. So this way, so you have your code set up and you got your excerpts, and now you can go to the code, where am I? Code collection. You can see the so if you want to look at a particular type of code, you see exactly, we can zoom in, and I think this will click on this, it will take you back. You can edit it dynamically. Okay, nothing for you to remember. You just come, you click, you don't like it, you click, you change, and it's updated. When you save, it's updated, and then you now your code co-occurrence shows the interrelationships between codes. Some codes are attached to more than one excerpt. Okay, and some excerpts are attached to more than one code. So this one shows the interrelationship. And look at this. Look at this. Suppose in environment, I just look at this, and what happens? I can see the details, and without, there are 6 excerpts, and without going into too much detail, just a flavor for you guys. You see, I can look at the demography of the respondents. So here is the demography of the respondents. So this is by single, by married, by divorced, and this is the graph. Are you stunned?
Fantastic.
Okay. Okay. So this is a different interpretation here, and you can go through more things. You just choose education. How is the distribution according to education? So just give it. It's just doing all the calculations, and look at that, guys. Look at that. Okay. Now let's come out of code co-occurrence. Now you have concept. Now in the concept, what we do here is we click on a concept, we create a concept, and then say that the family, environment, and gender are all related to tribe. So for instance, before you attach this, it will be on the right hand side. You can just simply drag this and put it here, and it comes over to the tribe. So in this way, the concepts are synthesized, and after the concepts, you have the categories. So again, the categories, again, you click the same style, and it will first appear on the right hand side. Drag and drop it over here, and you can see that the concepts is done. And now close your eyes.
Good.
Open your eyes. Here is the concept. Code map just comes here. And suppose you feel that a culture should be part of the national. So you just go to category and say that go to this category, edit, and say that no, culture doesn't belong here. So you see, okay, click delete. On delete. So it goes to the concept, and I close this, and I come back to national, and when I click this, it's available on my right hand side. Drag and drop, close, everything is redone. And not, look at that. Did you see, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now this is very handy if you change your argument. You want to give it a different way of discussion. And it doesn't stop there. Look, okay, so you just saw that, and also it gives you the code map graph. How many codes are there? How many concepts are there? And what are the concepts? And then you can also look at the concept map. How many items are there? How many excerpts are here? How does these excerpts from the codes go into the what do you call concepts and the concepts flow into this. Just one moment, I got a phone call here. I'm in a meeting. Okay. All right. Okay, so then you can see how the information is flowing, and if you are still not happy, look at the literature map. You don't have to put a single effort. It tells you that these quotes came from this article, social distancing came from these 2 articles, community came from these 2 articles, and so on. Without a single mouse click, you have to do nothing. It just synthesizes this. Lastly, we look at this editor. We look at the editor. Now, in the editor, suppose, for instance, you click on this. This follows from the quote map. It is an outline, comes from the quote map. You look at this, and when you click on the edit, it automatically pulls up the excerpts. Look at that. It pulls up the excerpts. Why? So that you can see, hey, what did these people say? What should I write about them? So you can say that in document A9, this was what they said. In A10, this was what was said. A8, this was what was said. And with all of this, as I mentioned earlier, I don't know if I can have 551. Okay, so from this, reading through this, you can write your discussion. You can write your discussion. Now, not only this, I have shown that if you use Quillpot, for instance, very quickly, I want to show you. Let's say I want to combine all this. So I copy this, including my discussion. So I click on this, copy, and I go to my paraphrase, Quillpot's premium modes. We don't want this at the moment. Right, so we come here, we are in the paraphrase standard. You've got to check where you are. Now you paste the text here and remove some of these other things, right? Maybe just put the sentence right, take out these references, the number, and so on. Okay, I think that should be enough. And
A8.
Huh?
A8.
A8. Okay, yeah. Okay, you remove some of this. Maybe future version I'll do that automatically. Now, when I paraphrase this, okay, just give it a moment. It's paraphrasing 95 words, and it's doing one by one, line by line. And now we're almost there. Okay, is it done? Okay. Now, guys, I copy this text and I go here and I just want to add this here. Okay, I paste this here. Now, I'm asking you guys, what is the chance? Okay, let's say we take out this one, the first one, I take it out. Now, I'm asking you, what is the chance that this sentence will come out as plagiarized? Tell me. Negligible. Why? Because it has taken, not only it has taken the original excerpts, and in between the excerpt, it has got my comment and it has put all of this together and rewritten. If you don't like it, paraphrase, rephrase again. Okay? You can rephrase it again until there is no resemblance between your excerpts and your paraphrase sentence. So once you have done this, let me tell you, you can paste it here any number of times. And you just simply have to paste it and you see it is updated. Okay, so when it is updated, you do that step by step for every code. And as you do for every code, you can also do it for every concept. So you close. Dr. Suresh will be joining us again. We've got to finish it up shortly. And then here until the category level. And now, when you have done all the same thing, repeat, same thing. And when you have done this, we now come to the editor. And if you guys are still not impressed, you can see this and you can also see the outline here. How is it outlined? Something like your word navigator. Okay, we have it here. So this is the full version. And let me go to the reports. And I just want to show, I can show you the code map, but let me just go to the editor. We go to the editor and I preview this and it is generating a word report. Okay, here's the word report. All right. let's enable editing because it's downloading from the internet, so it's looking for security there. And now here is a word record. So many of you may be thinking, this is just a text editor, so what is so great about it? But look, guys, look. When I click on Navigator, can you see? It has a specific outline, follows according to the code map. It has this specific outline and you can navigate. Look, it goes according to the outline. It follows the outline dynamically. You see? And if that is not enough, you guys are still not impressed. I'm sure you're impressed, but let me just take you here. Let me go here. Let's call that normal. I'm just taking the style. And now I go to references, table of contents. I think I should ask you guys to close your eyes. Close your eyes. 1 second. Then click on the contents and let's just say this is magical. Yeah, I didn't hear any wow. Alex, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Yeah.
So look at that. We have it up to the end. We not only create the file, not only create the qualitative analysis, but we can have this output to what do you call a Word document. Don't worry about this spelling and all that because that is in the Latin lorem ipsum text. But here you can see the English text just now we did, and it is in a dynamic navigation. And not only that, we can create this, and you can even update this. I think we can update the field. There we go. So we have a dynamic way of doing this. Now, finally, guys, let me close this app and I want to go to this one here. So this is what we have done, and we are able to do up to the Word file where many students can't even do outline properly. 90% of students cannot do. And then, now let me just touch on what this software costs. It's $30 USD per month, renewable every month. If you need it for 2 months, you just use it for 2 months. You need it for 1 month, you can just use it for 1 month. But I'm sure this is a very small cost compared to the amount of things that you spend on other software training and everything. And don't forget that AsterWrite handles not only just qualitative analysis, but also other aspects of your entire research program. We haven't seen a lot more. Now, the features, you have thesis management, a whole thesis management, literature review, qualitative analysis, including reference and citation, and templates for writing and writing papers and help for publication. Dr. Sudesh has personally vouched to help you guys to do the help for publication. So here is what you get. You get help from Dr. Sudesh and from me, how to do guides, suggest what you need to do. We are basically a supervisor for you. Any topic of research, how to use the software, and we provide full virtual assistance. And it's very easy to join. You simply have to look at the sign up process, and it will take you through the registration where you enter your mail and your phone number, and then you choose what you want. Most likely you should be choosing the 30 days, okay? And once you are on board, we will be able to help you in many ways because we know what you're doing and we can guide you. If you're working on a Word, we don't know how to share with you and so on. So you can simply go in and you can join through the Visa or any credit card that you have. And PayPal, the gateway we use is intelligent enough to show you the cards available in your own country. So here, then once you're done, it will give you the account ID, user ID and password, which you can then enter here and it will just bring you into the software. Okay, so that is a very quick roundup. This is what it is. In the mind map here, for those students who are thinking of writing maybe a proposal, just now, I can't remember. You can just go to the mind map and you see here, you can choose what is the area you want. For instance, you want to write a proposal, PhD proposal, then you select PhD proposal and import okay. So here is the template, and once you have the template, you can have for that one. Okay, you are writing a review paper, it gives you a review paper template, so you can see that this is another additional feature. So with that, I would like to say that we have very quickly rushed through qualitative analysis, and of course the details of how to use this and how you can best use this for different types of data collection. We can come back to me, you can come back to me, and I would be only too happy to show you about this. Okay, shall we come online, and anybody has any questions? Maybe we'll spend 5 minutes to look at any questions, but you're always free to get to me any other time as well.
For more information, see our other videos on research and thesis writing following your interests. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.